Welcome to the University.
All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakah Kudash. Double honors to our apostle elders which rule great millstone well. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa abab babal. Alright, so as everybody heard, President Biden fell in Colorado, alright, while giving diplomas at the Air Force Base. Alright, and this is an omen. Alright, if you look up what would happen to a king that fell in battle, because you got to remember Biden is a so-called war president. Alright, if you watch the background, the cadets and other people that are gathered around him start laughing at him. Look at the cadet on the bottom. He has a big old smile on his face because there's a shame to a weak king. Okay, and you can look it up for yourself, which I did. But if you Google, what would happen to a weak king in the ancient world, it says his own people would be killing him, or he would be held for king's ransom. That's where that term gets from. You get that term from, king's ransom. All right. So this shows you that America is weaker than ever and soon to fall. And it's gonna fall in battle. In World War III, it's gonna get nuked from the face of the earth. All right. Let me get Revelation 6 verse 12. It says, "And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal," which Yahweh Shai is opening the sixth seal, "and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon was as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth," which are nuclear missiles, "even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and every island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said unto the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For that great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" So who's going to be able to stand at the return of our supreme power, Yahweh, and his mighty king, Yahweh Shai? All right, Yahweh Shai is the King of Kings. All right, he is the head of the elect. He is the Messiah, as it is written. And he's not going to meet Esau, the so-called white man, as a man. It says in Isaiah 47 verse 3, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." Which he's talking to who? Babylon, dealing with the Edomite, the so-called white man. Verse 1, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon," which is America. It's a virgin daughter of Babylon because America has never seen war on its shores of a foreign army. All right, but it's soon about to take place. All right, "Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans," a bunch of witches. All right, that's what rules America, is a bunch of warlocks and witches. "For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." And that's what the presence of Biden is. All right? He's not tender and delicate. America is no longer tender and delicate. The streets are falling down. There's no money. There's no jobs. The stores are shutting down. The restaurants are shutting down. There's sudden gun attacks, right? Gun fights all over the cities. Even other foreign countries are telling their citizens, it's best not to visit America because it's a violent place. Because it's about to fall, and it's going to fall by violence. All right? It says, take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover the locks, thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, which their shame is being revealed. America is full of shame, starting with how it was created through violence against the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, which are the biblical Hebrew Israelites. It says, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel, which he's going to send his son, Yahweh Shai, to judge the world. We get Revelation 18. It says in verse 20, rejoice over her, which is America, being destroyed, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and it cast into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Go to 19:11. Revelation 19:11. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. It says, and this is Yahweh Shai, okay? It says, and the armies which, verse 14, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. All right, let me get that rod of iron definition. Talking about he's going to rule the nations with a rod of iron. All right. It says a staff, a walking stick, a twig, rod, branch, a rod with which one is beaten, which he's going to beat the heathen into pieces. A staff as used on a journey or to lean upon, or by shepherds, which Yahweh Shai is a shepherd. He's the shepherd of the elect of Israel. When applied to kings, which Yahweh Shai is the King of Kings, with a rod of iron indicates the severest, most rigorous rule, a royal scepter. So let's see rigorous rules. What is rigorous rule? It says rigid rules of conduct. Rigorous implies the imposition of hardship and difficulty. The rigorous training of recruits, strict emphasizes undeviating. It says undeviating conformity to rules, standards, or requirements, strict enforcement of the law. What law? The law that Yahweh gave us through his Bible, which Yahushua was able to keep the law when he came as the Messiah to deliver us from the sin, the wage of the sin, all right, which is death according to the law. Undeviating. Show no deviation, constant and steady. So these heathen, when we get them in slavery, it's not going to, be for one day. It's going to be just steady ass beatings for 1,000 years. Revelation 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. How did the so-called white man bring the so-called Negroes from West Africa? By slave ships. All right, after he enslaved and slaughtered the North American Indians, the Seminole Indians, the Mexicans, all right, the indigenous people of North, Central, and South, and the Caribbeans. You had him bring, all right, the southern kingdom of Israel from West Africa on slave ships, which were the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which are today the so-called American Negro, the so-called Jamaican, West Indian, and the so-called Haitian. All right. Right? He done all kinds of brutality to us. Right? Which this is being revealed in this present time. Like that woman that lied about this young man here, and he had his face beaten in. That woman just died, but before she died, she said that it was all lies. This is dealing with Emmett Till, which is that young man in the picture. Woman who triggered 1955 murder of African American boy amidst lying about harassment. Which this boy was, he was a man, but a young man at the age of 14 in Mississippi in 1995. Which I showed you the picture of his face right here in the corner, top right corner, under the white man. All right, this is a shame that the so-called white man is bearing in these last days for the violence against thy brother Jacob, just as it would be prophesied in the Holy Scriptures. Obadiah, verse, it says, I'm going to start at 9. And thy mighty men, O T-Man, which is a son of Edom, which today the T-Men would be the Germans, shall be dismayed. All right, because you had the Nazis that were creating technology. All right, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. All right, so every one of the Edomites, every so-called white man, so-called white woman, so-called white child, senior citizen, it don't matter, all right, is going to be cut off by slaughter, every Edomite. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right, so they have no mercy, no salvation coming. All right, the heathen are going to be forsaken and eventually enslaved. All right, so judgment is going to start at the house of Israel, but eventually it's going to move to the rest of the nation, starting with the so-called white man, which is the red devil the Bible speaks of. It says in verse 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, which we just read. You know, he's going to judge all the heathen. He's going to put them in slavery, which the kings of Israel, all right, the elect of Israel is going to rule over the wicked in the other nations in rigorous work, and we're going to be on top of them, beating them. We're going to be on their ass like white on rice, like a fly on shit. All right, we're going to be on them every day. All right, the only day that they're going to have rest is the Sabbath day, but they're going to be so fucked up from the week before that all they're going to be able to do is lick their wounds. All right. And then the next day, next sundown, they're going to be back at it again for 1,000 years. It says, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Just like they done unto that young man. You know, that's going to be a benefit for Israel. We're going to actually get Esau, and even the other nations are going to get Esau and smash his head. All right? Only for him to be reincarnated through procreation into slavery again. It says in verse 17, but upon, I'm going to read 16. It says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so they all took advantage of Israel. Even Russia and China and the BRIC countries right now, they're not trying to free us from our oppressor. They're trying to get us in slavery under them so that we could slave for them. All right, so the Lord is angry with all the heathen. It says, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down. So they all participated in Esau's wicked abominations, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. So we're fanning this fire by teaching the truth. And the house of Esau for stubble, which Esau is going to be destroyed the most violently. And they shall kindle in them, which we're doing by teaching the truth, and devour them, which they're going to try to oppress us again. But the Lord is going to raise the standard for us. All right. It says, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. All right? So Esau has nothing good coming. Nothing. All right? There's not going to be a break. Even all the things that are happening today in 2023, the year that we pray and hope that Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai fulfill all the prophecy, so we could go home and be in a kingdom of righteousness with our Father Yahweh and with his Son Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior. All right? There is nothing good coming Esau, the so-called white man's way, only violence. And then once the Israelites get him after his destruction and his kingdom, all right, we're going to put them in slavery, and they're going to be reincarnated in slavery for 1,000 years through procreation, and then eventually made extinct. Isaiah 14 and verse 21. All right? But, it's all going to be given back to Israel. Israel is the cream of the crop amongst all the nations. We are the apple of the Most High's eye. 2nd Ezra chapter 8. No, it's 6 actually. 6 verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Talking about the Israelites. Verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have been reputed as nothing, which that's their value in the eye of the Lord is nothing, have begun to be lords over us. The landlord, right? They rule the government. They rule society. They make the laws that persecute us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. And we know why, because we sinned. But now that we're standing on our feet, repenting, he's going to take us out of this world and change it by fire. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess the inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? And there's a limit to what the Lord will allow. All right? That's why in Revelation 6, I believe it's in 9, it says, I'll start at 9. It says, And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yahweh and of Yahushai, and for the testimony which they held, which is prophecy. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And that's why when the vengeance comes, he's going to tell us what? Rejoice over them. Remember Revelation 18? It says, to the holy prophets and apostles, 18 is 20. And it says, Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh and Yahushai hath avenged you on her. Going back to that Revelation 6, I believe we're in 10. It says, And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, because they're going to be dead in the spirit world. You know, they'll be alive there, but dead in this realm, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So once that's fulfilled, nuclear destruction of America, which they're going to make war with the saints by making that MOTB, the implantable microchip device, mandatory for buying and selling, which is an abomination. And this is why they're going to condemn some brothers to death, because we're going to reject it. Okay? And they got guillotines to chop off the heads of those that reject it, just as it is written in this scripture. It says in verse 11, Until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled, which is what? That they were beheaded. All right? It says, Revelation 20 verse 4, And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. That 1,000 years is when we're going to be very violent towards the Edomite and the other nations in payback for what they've done unto us, Israelites, in slavery. All right? We're going to get 1,000 years to pay them back. And so once again, they're going to be reincarnated over and over into slavery under us by procreation. But we're going to control all aspects of their life. We're going to control who eats, who doesn't, who lives, who dies, who is able to repopulate for the ability of putting them back in slavery. All right, because we're going to have a steady flow of Edomites, and really with all the heathen. But we're going to control, just like they control how many, children you're allowed to have. They could come and take your babies away. Well, we're actually going to be able to take their babies and smash them against the stones. It says in Psalms 137, verse 9. It says, I'm going to start at 8. O daughter of Babylon, which America is the daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, it will be destroyed by nuclear missiles. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Rejoice over her, thou heavens, and ye holy apostles and prophets. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. See, everything they've done, they think they got away with it. All right, but they're going to come back and have to be punished for every drop of blood that they shed upon this land. All right, it's payback time. Okay? And that's what they're heading into. That's why they're going to fight like hell, because they know they have how to pay. All right, a thing that I see now is all these Edomites are trying to, change themselves into an angel of light. A lot of them are like, I'm Italian. I had nothing to do with what happened in America. But what's it say in Isaiah 14:21, which I quoted earlier, but we'll read it. Prepare slaughter, and that word prepare is to pretty much tell you what's about to happen. For his sons, for the iniquity of their fathers, talking about these so-called Caucasians today. They're the sons of those that took over this land by violence. All right, that had our people enslaved and murdered and raped our people and robbed them of their resources. Those are the same people that are alive today. All right, like Epstein. Epstein having that island, shipping all those young Jake over there to be molested. All right, that's what Columbus was doing. Look at what is one of their presidents, Benjamin Franklin. All right, they were molesting children and murdering them. It's in the history. All right, and they do the same thing every time they come back into life, into this realm. All right, when they die, they cease from doing evil. But when they're here on this earth, they're constantly doing wickedness. And this is in their past lives and in their current lives today. All right? So they have to be destroyed. All right? So that the world could be at peace. Because as long as there's a wicked devil, all right, there's always going to be wickedness on the earth. And that devil is the so-called white man. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for his sons, because they carry the seed, but all women and children included in that nation will be destroyed for the iniquity of their fathers, for what they've done unto us, the Israelites, that they do not rise nor possess the land. So they will not come back no more, because all the men will be put to death. And the men are the ones that hold the seed in their nuts. So they cannot repopulate if there is no men. And they do not rise, nor possess the land. Only men can possess the land according to Yahweh's law. So the men, but the women, children of all ages are going to fit this bill, being Edomites, the so-called Caucasians today. Nor fill the face of the world with cities, for I will rise up against them. See, they think they're going to fight just some average Negro, Latino, or Native American Indian. You're going to meet Yahweh Shai, and he's not going to meet you as a man. All right? He's coming as a god on a so-called UFO with the armies of heaven following him. And he's going to fucking destroy this place and you in it. It says, and cut off from Babylon the name of Edom and remnant of Edom and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with a besom of destruction, a sweeping agent, which is that nuclear destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. So the Lord is going to wipe the so-called white man's kingdom, America, virgin daughter of Babylon, right off the face of the earth in an hour. All right, all this is going to be done in an hour time, in our generation, as it is written. All praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Ha, Rakakudash, double honors unto our apostle elders which rule Great Millstone Wow, and Shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom Wa Abba Babal.